Report to the cloud. Okay. Okay. So y'all, I'm going to pin Marcie, but I'm going to tell you guys her accolades. Okay. So guys, welcome tonight, my wonderful friend, Marcie Diaz, who she's been, we say adopted into our James area, but I don't know if you really count as being adopted. I feel like you've been there the whole time, right? You've always been there. Yeah. So when I said technically adopted, Kobe was like, oh, really? You know, we didn't even know. And so I also know her. She's friends, you're really, really good friends with Monica and Caitlin and Anna Marie, who I'm convincing to move here to Arizona. So they loved her. So I was like, well, I have to love her, right? Like automatic. So you guys, Marcie started her business in September of 2013. She earned her first car May 2015 and then debuted the next month as a sales director. So you debuted as a really strong sales director, right? You've already got a car driving team. She was working her job in corporate America alongside Mary Kay until June 2016 when she resigned from that job. I didn't know this about you. I text Coop and I was like, what? Y'all, she has her MBA. I don't know why people think that people in Mary Kay, we graduated from 8th grade and called it a day. We're brilliant, bright people here. She has her MBA from CU Denver and played collegiate soccer at the University of Northern Colorado. Didn't know you were a soccer girl. We're a soccer house. She has earned 4 cars and currently driving the Chevy Equinox. She's been a star consultant for 31 quarters. She has completed quarter sales 5 times. So basically every year that you've been almost every year, full year that you've been a director.
Yeah.
Okay. Wowza. She has earned 5 gold medals, which means 5 times. She's gotten 5 brand new team members in a month. She earned the Destination Red Cruise for 2 to the Bahamas in 2019. Her highest commission check was just at about $7,000. You guys, I am so excited for you to learn from her. She's currently in qualifications on target to finish her very first pink Cadillac the end of June. I know this about you. I asked Coop, I was like, what's her goal right now? She said you're on target finishing the end of June. And I think the best way to describe you is a quiet, humble giant. I know you don't think that you have anything crazy, extra special to give. And we all want to hear from you. I mean, there were so many people side messaging me going like, wait, you're recording this, right? Like, I want to hear this. Marcie's incredible. We never hear from her. Quiet, humble giant. And it is an absolute honor to hear from you. Guys, what we're going to do, she is going to just do her thing and dump all of her knowledge and wisdom to us. And then we will do questions at the very end. So if you have any questions, start dropping them in the chat. We'll get to them at the end. Or if you're watching the live video right now on Facebook, drop the comments and the questions in there and I'll be keeping track of those and we'll make sure that we're asking all of her questions at the end. So, okay, whatever you need to say, however long you need to say it, you are good.
Yay. Thank you. Such a great introduction. I appreciate it. So honored to be asked to speak to you guys tonight. So thank you for having me. So as you know, I finished Court of Sales already last month, for this year. And last year I finished at the beginning of March. And really, I truly believe that what's allowed me to do this is really the strong customer base that I've created over the last 8 years, and continuing to see new faces every single month. So it's really a combination of both of these things that allows me to have the Court of Sales finished. I want you guys to know that there really is no super secret to my success and everything I'm going to share. You've probably heard in some other form one time or another. And I know that's usually not what people want to hear, right? Because we always want that like secret formula to make it happen. But really, I'm just going to share some tips that I truly believe have helped me get to this point in my business with sales and where I am now. And I just know, like, I'm going to complete this court every year. It will be completed early every year. And I was kind of thinking about it after, you guys asked me to train and I got asked by another director to train her team too. And I was like, okay, my goal I think now is with my customer base and reorders alone, I can do the quart of sales. And then also like new faces and sales from that, I could do the quart of sales. So my new goal is like 80,000 retail in a year. But last year I did just over like 61,000. So getting closer. So we will see, but that's my new goal. So the first tips I'm really gonna just get into are related to like current customer base. And then I'll talk a little bit more about like new faces and sales from that. So customer service is so important, right? We want to keep our customers happy. We want to keep them around for the long haul, get them on more products throughout their time with us, all of that stuff. So, I have a very large customer base, but remember that I started just like everyone with literally nobody and built to where I am today. So it doesn't take it does take time to build a strong customer base. Like it's not going to happen overnight, right? But it doesn't have to take a super long time either, just depending on what you're committed to and how many like new faces you want to see each month. But I don't really believe in having a ton of like discounts all the time because we don't need them, of course. Like our products are great. They're priced really great. And if we have discounts all the time, it doesn't make it exciting, right? Like people see a discount and then they aren't rushing to buy because they know, oh, she's going to have another one soon. So I'm not missing out type of thing. So there's no urgency to it. So I only do like 2 main discounts for my customers throughout the year that they have come to know that are going to happen. Sometimes I throw something else small in there when things are happening or we're finishing up a big goal or whatever it is, but 2 main sales throughout the year. And so the first one is the birthday month. Okay. My customers get a discount during their birthday month. So 15% off any order throughout the month. It can be multiple orders. So if they're like, oh, I forgot I needed this too, if they order again, that is fine. I get them 15% off the entire month. Or they can get 30% off if they host some type of party get together, whether it's virtual, in person, whatever that looks like. But if they're sharing me with at least like 3 or more of their friends, then I give them 30% for their birthday. So there's lots of communication that I do with my customers so that they're aware of this. And, I've been doing this birthday discount now for years. So now they've come to know, especially the ones who have been around for a long time, that they're going to get a discount on their birthday. But they get an email on the first of the month, and that's like an automated email that they get. So it tells them about the discount, how it works. I send out postcards with a happy birthday message and discount listed. And guys, sometimes that's the only like birthday card they get in the mail, right? Because that's just like not a thing as much anymore. And I know we're making it a thing, but not everybody gets written notes or birthday cards or things like that. So they get that in the mail and they love it. Okay. Also, I do texting multiple times during the month for the birthday discount. So the first text I usually do during the first week of the month. So it's usually saying like, you probably got my email and the postcard, or the postcard's on its way. Like you should be getting it soon. Want to make sure you know you have 15% off your order this month, but you can double it and get 30% off. Can I explain how the 30% off works? So that starts a conversation with people. And that's how I will get some parties on the books for each month based on birthday people. Okay. And then I also text people, anybody that I hadn't heard from or didn't book a party, but were interested in ordering. I'll text them about a week before the end of the month, letting them know the coupon discount is expiring. When it expires, can I help them stock up on their favorites or help them pick out new items? And then the final text is for people I haven't heard from or people who are like, I'm going to order, but they haven't ordered yet. And that's like the last day of the month or the day before. And that just says, discounts expiring today, tomorrow, don't miss out on the savings, blah, blah, blah. Always include like my website and all of that kind of stuff. But that's really the communication I do. And I think communication with everything is so big because people need to be reminded. We're crazy busy, we forget. So reminding them, and then they get in the habit of learning as they become your customer over years, but you got to do a lot of reminding. So that's kind of my first discount, is the birthday month. The second discount I do is my like year-long customer loyalty program. Again, I always tell people, you don't have to do everything that I do. But I think a year-long program, whatever it is very beneficial, however you're doing it. And it takes time, again, to gain momentum, just like with anything. But once the customers catch on, they love it. It's been getting better and better every year that I've done it. So I didn't start this when I was brand new. So it's maybe been 5, maybe 6, but 5 years probably doing this now. And basically I allow my customers to earn holiday bucks throughout the year, based on their purchases that they can then use at my holiday open house that I have in November. So they earn 10% back from every purchase. So for every $10 they spend, they earn $1 in holiday bucks. Okay. So this starts with their very first purchase. So whenever that is throughout the year, if they're like a new face, they start earning holiday bucks, and then it continues through the end of October. And then I have an in-person open house that I do in November, where they can use their bucks that they've earned and they can spend it on anything they want, basically. I also do like a virtual option as well, but my people that are in my town, like close by, they love coming because everything's on display. I have obviously gift options and stuff because it's before the holidays, so they get to see it. And then I'll schedule like Zooms and stuff with my out-of-state people or things like that. So I'll do virtual as well. But I don't want to get into a ton of detail about my open house. That could be like a whole nother training, but it's grown tremendously over like the years. Okay. So after their bucks are used, they will start earning holiday bucks on their next purchase for the following year. Because sometimes so I do the open house the beginning of November. Okay. Before Black Friday, because I want to be the first one that they're really like seeing more gift ideas from. Obviously, some people start super early with Christmas shopping, but I'm going to be before the Black Friday. Okay. And some people are just shopping for themselves. Some people are shopping for others. I also have where they can write down a wish list of items for whoever, buys them gifts, because then those are people I can reach out to, for gift giving services. And I have husbands who count on this, who they're like, you have my wife's wish list, right? I'm like, yep. They're like, you do wrapping? I'm like, yep. And I deliver it and they don't have to do anything. So it's super easy for that. So I do free wrapping and all of that. And I know what their wives want. So it just makes it easy for them. And that goes for all, obviously gift giving services do that all throughout the year for different holidays and birthdays and all that kind of stuff. But that's where they can really make a wish list at the open house of things that they see. So I think, this past year I had over 7,000 in sales from not just the open house in person, but the virtual stuff too. And anybody who was just placing orders to use their holiday bucks. But like I said, some people shop for themselves. And then, cause that's the beginning of November. And then some people, they'll come back and they'll buy, then they're like, okay, well, I need to remember who I'm shopping for. They come back and they still are buying gifts for people later on. So they can start earning holiday bucks on their next purchase. So even if it's not January yet, if they're still stocking up and purchasing stuff for other gifts, I let them start earning holiday bucks, after they've used theirs in November. But what else? Also free, this is just in general, free wrapping. I do free shipping too for all orders in the US. I don't do a price limit of you have to spend something. I just do it. It's part of being my customer. That's a perk of being my customer. And I know people like that because we're all crazy about our shipping, right? We never want to pay for shipping, and they will find someone else if they can't get what they want from me, because there's Mary Kay people everywhere, right? So they will find someone local to them that they can just pick it up if I charge for shipping. So I do free shipping no matter what. And yeah, so that's really just a personal thing that I do. And then what else? And that's really just a question I get from a lot of people too, especially since we've started since COVID and going virtual. Everyone would always be like, what's shipping? And I'm always like, it's free for being my customer service. You get free shipping no matter what. So that's a perk. So yeah, so that's really the second discount I do, is the year-long customer loyalty program. And it's really fun because people get excited to see how many, I keep track of the holiday bucks for them. And then, like I said, don't want to get into a ton of the open house, but also they get a postcard in the mail as an invite with their holiday buck total, they get a text, lots of communication with that, that has built it over time, right? The very first open house I had, I didn't have a ton of people showing up. But now I do. So you got to grow it. So that's really the second discount. And then other just things with customer service and current customer base. So handwritten personal thank you cards in all reorders. Okay. So I include a personal handwritten note. In that note, it also tells them how many holiday bucks they've earned with the order. So they know, and they're like, oh yeah, because people get excited, and newer customers too. Sometimes they're like, oh, I think I have holiday bucks. Like, how do I use those? And then, it tells them, but I can remind them like, oh yeah, you get to use those at the open house, all of that. So something else I've started with this as well more recently is making my thank you card personalized. Okay. And this was Alyssa Martin, I think, is who really trained on this before. And I was like, oh my God, I need to do that. Because before I was just doing a thank you, right? It's just a regular postcard that says thank you on it. So now I've created my own, super simple. And I can send a picture of this, but it is just a thank you. It has a picture of me and my husband. If you have children, put your kids on there. And it just says, thank you for supporting my business. You make a difference. And then it has my website, my phone number, and my email. So it has all my info. Okay. So this can be like, they can put this on their refrigerator. They'll never forget who their Mary Kay girl is.
Does it have a spot on the back that says holiday bucks that you just fill it in, or do you write that in?
I just write it on these. So when they get their like invite to the open house, I have like a sticker that I just write in the holiday bucks, and it says, you have so many holiday bucks for the year. But throughout the year, I'm just writing it in the thank you. Like, you've earned 10 holiday bucks with this order, basically.
That's a really great fun thing to fill the back of that card with.
Yeah. So
then you're like,
you have something else to write. Just instead of thank you. Yeah. So that's added in.
Screen like this. And then I know people just scream about that sucker.
And I can send you a picture of it
awesome.
too, so you can share it.
Okay.
Yeah. So personalize that, because I think people like to see us, right? They're supporting our business. They want to know what they're supporting, all of that. So personalize that. And this is super simple, guys. I literally created this in Pic Collage. I went to Office Depot with our amazing discount, printed in color and cardstock, and had them cut. That is it. So cheap. Okay. And so it's not like super fancy. It's very basic. Okay. Yeah. So that's really great. Let's see. And then, so yeah, cardstock, all that. Okay. And then so I send handwritten cards in the mail, to all first-time customers who were in-person appointments. Okay. So, because obviously I send handwritten notes and reorders, but in an in-person appointment, I don't have time necessarily to write what I want in the thank you card. So this card includes a description of my loyalty program, and I can send you what that says. But so that's just the description, which basically introduces the holiday bucks to them, to tell them you're a valued customer, you're going to earn holiday bucks, you get to spend these at my open house, blah, blah, blah. So it has the description, and how many they've earned with their very first order. And then also either in the card or in their product order that they take home, I put a thank you $5 off your next purchase card. And I don't have one of those in front of me. I was trying to find one. I might be out. I need to look. If I'm out, I need to order more. But I get those off of Pink Printing, and it's just like the business size card that says thank you. On the other, it says like, thanks for shopping with me. You have $5 off your next order. So this really helps with getting a second order, right? Or reorder, and building that customer for life. Because if they have a $5 off discount, even if they didn't set up a second appointment or something like that, like, they'll want to use that. So they're going to reorder. And when you have a second time order from a customer, way more likely to keep them for life than if not. Okay. And having that happen quickly. So I put that in, either in the card that gets mailed if I forgot to put it in their product order, or it goes with them home in their product order. And then they get this card. Let's see. So again, it's very unusual for people to get handwritten notes in the mail, right? So when they're getting a mailed thank you card with the description of the loyalty program, all of that, they just know, like, shows your professionalism. They're like, oh, this is really awesome. Like, they're going to take great care of me. And so they know that. I also send a handwritten note to those that don't purchase, right? So sometimes we have facials and they don't buy anything. yeah, that happens to everybody, right? So this says something, it still has the description of the loyalty, but it says something like, thank you for your time. Hope you left feeling pampered. I have your wish list on file, and would be happy to help you with skincare, makeup needs in the future. With your first order, you will earn holiday bucks, which is explained here, and it's explained in the loyalty program information. So that way they're still getting something in the mail. They're like, oh, that's really sweet. I didn't even, spend money with her, and she's taking time to thank me and all of that. So again, just a way to potentially get them to order in the future. So those are like the handwritten things that I do. And then I also, which I know, I think you guys just got trained on this. I saw it posted in your thing, the half off. I do the half off product for every $50 in reorders, that Monica's half price specials on Facebook. Yeah. So this gets customers on new products that they've never tried, that they will then buy at full price. Okay. So this is awesome. Game changer. I started doing this, last year at some point. It might've been summer, fall when I found out about it. And you're not making profit on that half off item, of course, but it ups your wholesale, or, it's upping your retail and wholesale for a quart. And then of course it's getting people to try other products, that they haven't, and then they're going to love it. And of course have to buy it again when they run out. So, that is huge. Game changer, just ups your sales so much.
How do you promote that? Like if somebody's reordering, do you send it or do you post it in your customer group? So I've known about it and I just never did it because I was like,
yeah. So I haven't posted in my customer group, and
that's
no, I don't post it in my customer group. The only reason, it depends what's on, sometimes if there's something on it that I'm like, people reorder that, I'm not going to post it until I know what they're reordering. So once someone texts me or places an order or something, I have a lot of people who just text me their reorders. So I'll shoot them a text and I'm like, awesome. You've qualified for 1, 2, however many half off items from the flyer below. Let me know if you want to take advantage and which items you want, basically. Okay. So I'm just doing a text and I send the flyer, because then if for some reason, and this is just me being probably too paranoid, but if someone orders something that's on the half off, I somehow just covered up with emojis so you can't even tell it's there, and they pick from the other items. So I don't know if that's
I had a weird hesitancy always towards it, because sometimes the things that are on there, I'm like, well, that's probably what they're buying. And I know that's probably just a weird little lack thought that I have or something, but that was my,
yeah. And that's why I don't post it in my actual customer group for people to see. But once they reorder, then I'll send, if they haven't ordered anything on it, I send it complete. If they have, then sometimes depending what it is, or, I'll cover it up or do something. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's what I do for that. And then, but it really has people, majority of people take advantage of that. There is only a couple, I've only had maybe a handful that's oh, I'm good on everything, thanks. But majority of people, and I have had people who earn 3, 4, and they get 3 or 4 items, and some of the items aren't cheap on there. So even half off, not cheap, but they're higher priced items. And so their order gets so much bigger, even though, again, I'm not making profit necessarily on that, but it ups my order, and it's something that they haven't tried before usually. So it's new.
And do you, okay, so have you noticed then, you've been doing it long enough that have you seen them then reordering the products that they were not on, but they bought half off and they're.
Yeah. And yeah, I've had, especially one, I think someone got the Serum C plus E on the half off. And she was she texted me after she started, she's like, this is the favorite thing I've ever gotten from you. And, and so, yeah. And I'm like, and now that's $60 for, so she's going to be reordering that for life now. And yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, Casey was like, I'm like,
yeah, just got to go with it. Just try it out. So yeah, so I do that. And then I've always done, and I continue to do, a free gift with a $40 purchase or more. And that was something that I had done, before this half off with $50 or more. And I've continued to do it even if they qualify for a half off item, because it's free. So they're literally paying nothing for it. And that's just a gift. So a free gift with $40 purchase or more. And I do small item. A lot of people do section 2 and minis, and I have done that in the past, but I do section 1 always and forever now, because section 1 counts towards court, right? So I don't need to be giving free gifts of the mini. Like sometimes, obviously, if you're wanting people to try that and all that, but my free gift is usually a section 1 item. I do lower cost ones, but section 1 goes towards the court. So in the past, I've done things like beauty blotters. That's $3 our cost. Eyeshadows, $4 our cost. I did when we had the masking pods, the 4 pods, I stocked up on those, 1 pod each as a gift with purchase, because those are super cheap. And right now, what I suggest and what I'm using, mini hand creams, guys. The mini hand cream set comes with 3. Okay. The set of 3 is retail $14. That's $7 our cost. You divide that by 3, it's $2.33 per order to put in a mini hand cream as their gift with purchase. And that is a section 1 item. Okay. So $2.33, that's cheaper than a lot of section 2 items that you can put in there. Okay. So I'm doing that. And then of course, if they really love the hand cream, then they're going to buy the full set later. But that's what I'm using right now for my gift with $40 or more purchase. So that just goes in their order. And guys, I know that's little stuff, but that little stuff adds up over the year to hit court. It really does. So I've been using that. And then of course, like PCP, enroll your customers, do follow up. This is a great way to get in front of customers with new products. I know I was really bad too, so getting better. But follow up this is like your follow up to keep customers in the loop of what's new, what they need to restock. And guys, there's what, 5 catalogs a year with the holiday one that goes out. So this is like when I can follow up with customers and see about reorders and trying something new because they're getting something in the mail. So it gives me a reason to reach out, and I probably don't need to reach out to them more than 5 times a year if they're just a flowing customer, because if they need something when I don't reach out to them, they'll let me know at that point. But if they forget for some reason, I'm following up about a PCP, and then they'll get back to me with what they need for reorders. So definitely take advantage of PCP. Obviously they get samples in there, like so cheap, 70 cents or whatever it is a name to get those out. So do that. But yeah, also just, I pride myself in my fast customer service. So my customers, especially locally, know that, I'm faster than Amazon Prime. That's always what I tell people. If they're going to get their order same day or next day, pretty much every time. And people want things now, right? We don't want to wait. That's why that's why Amazon, people use Amazon because you can get things so quickly most of the time. So I pride myself in that for my local customers, especially. Okay, cool. So that's most of my like customer base stuff that I wanted to talk about. So now to kind of switch over to new faces and what I find helpful and important to meeting the new and really like bringing in high first time orders and adding them to the growing customer base, right? That is really the goal. New customers ordering a lot of product, and then just add them in to your systems and your customer base. So first and foremost, like discipline and consistency with the process, guys, with anything, right? If you're not disciplined to do the work and consistent to do it day in and day out, we aren't going to reach our goal no matter what it is. Okay. So consistently booking. I don't love to book, guys. I'm the first one to say, like, booking is not my favorite thing to do. I do not like to book, but I can't hold appointments without booking. So I got to do it. Right. So like even setting a time, scheduling a time for when you're going to do your booking, whether it's for an hour at a time or it's small pockets of time throughout the day. When I was a consultant and even a director and still working my corporate job at the same time, because I was working my corporate job for about a year, my first year as a director, for lots of different reasons, but, mainly to get fully vested in my company so I could get all the money, that they would give me. But, I would do my bookings during my lunch break. Okay. and I'd close my store, I'd eat my lunch, I'd do my bookings, and that's when I did it. So it doesn't matter what you got going on, like you can find, and it doesn't have to take a ton of time, right? But schedule that every day and have some type of goal based on, what your sales goal is for the month, the week, as far as reach outs per day or bookings per day. So I'm really working on getting in the habit of not just focusing on like how many reach outs I want to do, but like the results from the reach outs, right? And like not stopping until I get like 2 bookings a day. Because that makes a difference, right? We can always be like, oh, I'm going to reach out to 10 people today. But if you don't really care about the results that are coming from that, it's not going to be as intentional and all of that. So if you want to get like 1 booking a day, 2 bookings a day, don't stop until you do that. And just make it happen. So I'm getting better at that too. I'm talking to me. So this training's for me as well. Okay. And then follow up. Follow up is key in all areas, but like you can't just reach out right to people one time and then give up. And literally I used to do this at the early years, like before we had the like 21-day challenge training or whatever it was. And I was like, oh, how many people would I probably booked if I actually reached out more than one time? And so I think like, I don't know the actual percentages, but like majority of sales and bookings happen after like the 5th attempt. So you can't stop after just one time. So not only when booking, but after the appointment as well, like so many different things. But this is why also I send like the note to people who didn't order at the appointment, because it doesn't mean they don't want to order, they're not going to order, but they need follow-up. Okay. So that helps. But yeah, so, and just sending, yes. Okay. So we have people, who might not purchase right away, might not purchase, or maybe just purchase 1 or 2 items, but following up, adding them to the PCP list, that gets you in front of them more. And the more they're exposed to you, the more likely they're going to shop with you. Right. So doing that. And then, I do go through my PCP list. If I've had someone who did an order and I put them on my PCP and they go like a year of getting PCPs and nothing, then, okay, I'll take them off. But expose them to you more through those things that you do. So follow up is really, really big. And then mindset for long term. Okay. What you are doing now makes a difference later on, right? So work I did 8 years ago is still paying me today. Don't ever think what you're doing doesn't matter, because it does. Okay. The appointment that rescheduled 3 times, or the long drive to some crazy appointment that you're like, where am I and what am I doing here? And all of those things, whatever it is, something will come from it. Okay. It's not always that person or maybe the sales from that appointment, but maybe it's from a referral you got, or something else. Right. So know that you are literally planting seeds and they will bloom, but some take longer than others. So we have to be patient and know that the work we're doing still matters. Okay. So that is huge. And then just like simple, fun skincare class with a set sheet that you love. That is going to lead to high average on first time sales. Okay. So being confident in your skincare class and getting really good at it, but not having to be perfect. Right. We don't want to be perfect. No, we're never perfect anyways. But I am not someone who likes to toot my own horn at all, but, my bestie, MK director, Anna Marie, she always tells me how great my skincare class is. Okay. She says, it's informative, but fun, simple, quick. You know what you're talking about, but it's never perfect. So it allows others to know that they can do it too. It's just simple and easy. Okay. But I've done pretty much the same skincare class for years, right? Obviously new products come out, we tweak things here and there. But even when we went virtual, I decided, okay, I'm just going to duplicate what I was doing in person and I'm going to do it on Zoom. I'm not going to try to recreate the whole wheel. I'm just going to do what's worked for me and see if it works here. Okay. And it did. And of course, I'm doing some other things now too, like Facebook lifestyle parties, all these other things. Anything can work, right? So it's finding what works for you and just doing it over and over and over. Okay. So make sure also, and I just plug this, make sure you're getting referrals at some point during your skincare class. unless you're abundantly full of leads and you don't need them. But referrals is probably one of the biggest ways I've built my business over the years, is referral based. So
what do you do? When do you do your referrals?
During the charcoal mask.
Okay. And what do you do?
Nothing special. So I share a little bit about the business I share about the business, and then I have like my set sheet that I send, or the set sheet that I have, I guess, virtual, in person, whatever. It has a survey that they fill out. And on the back, and then it also has the referral. So I say, you can fill out the survey. We do a drawing like once a quarter for free products. So that gets you entered. And then this other piece is referrals, and referrals is one of the biggest ways we are the biggest blessings to us from people like you. So it's your chance to nominate friends, family, coworkers, just the basics, put name and number, only requirement they're 18 or older. Like, and I just,
you're not like do it and get tickets, or do it and get something free, or do it and get,
I only do like, if you have 10 people, you get half off a charcoal mask, 20, which is the full sheet, you get a free charcoal mask. So
okay, 10 for half off, 20 for free.
Yeah.
Okay.
For charcoal mask. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I do offer that, but I have people who give me like 6, right? They get nothing of that, but I got 6.
You feel like that's worth it?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. 100%. Like 20 leads for a free charcoal mask that cost me $12.50 every day, because at least something will come from that that will cover that $12.50. So yeah, so that's what I offer, but it's just super simple. I let them fill out until they're done and move on. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So get referrals. Where am I? Just checking my notes. Okay. So a set sheet that you love. There are so many set sheets, million set sheet options. Chelsea, I'm sure, has an amazing one. Your director, whoever your director is, has an amazing set sheet that works. Okay. I always tell people, you don't have to have my set sheet to have the results that I get. Okay. That's not necessary. But let's see. So simple, with not a ton of options, right? Focus on what you're demoing. That's what your sets focus on, right? Because that's what they're trying. And I tell people, don't try to like switch back and forth between different set sheets a lot to see what's like, you're not going to know if it's working unless you're using it consistently for a while. Okay. So stick to something, use it consistently, see if it works, see that it works, it will work. And like my set sheet, I have 3 main options. I have 2 smaller options, but the sets range from just over $400 to $120, which is the basic miracle set now, right? So people tend to pick towards the middle when they're not sure what to do, or they're like a lot of times they're not going to be like, oh, okay, I'm not going to get the most expensive, but I also don't want the lowest one. Like this middle area looks great, right? So yeah, my middle option is close to like around 200, I'd say. So I would say my average first time face is over 150. That's including $0 facials, right? We all have $0 people we meet with. This is also why we follow up. So important. But I also have a ton of new people spending $300, $400, even $500 with me regularly. And that's normal. Okay. That can become your normal. So you just have to do your affirmations. Say I'm going to sell $400 sets. But I do also, I do offer a payment plan option. I believe that helps me to get higher sales. I don't ever tell consultants you need to offer a payment plan. Is everyone's option. If you do want to offer a payment plan, I would suggest for consultants, especially newer consultants, get half upfront. That is your cost of the product. That covers you. And then you can do the second as a half, or you can like split that up if you choose to. But I will say, there's only been like one time in my entire career of offering a payment plan that I didn't get the full amount. And it was a crazy, weird situation. And that's the only time. So like, that's not an issue. Okay. But I did get my cost covered. So that's fine. Anyways, but that's because the payment plan I sell a ton of my top set, which is called the Queen of Everything. That's like my Queen of Everything. That it retails for just over $400 before tax. So yeah, that helps. I think that's something that's helped me get the higher sales for first time orders. And then Something else that helps me sell a ton of products at appointments or just customers is nothing special, guys, using the products. Right? So if you aren't using as many products as possible, start. Some of you are probably great at this, but I use all Mary Kay, head to toe. So not only am I selling more, but I'm also using more personally, which ups my wholesale and retail for the year to help hit court. And, I suggest if you're like, oh, suggest pulling something new every once in a while. If you're like, I haven't tried that yet, but oh, I think I want to pull it off your shelf. It will be worth it because once you try it, you'll fall in love with it. You'll talk about it more and then you're going to sell it more. So you're going to make the 50% that you're paying for, you're going to make that back by the ones you're selling. Okay. So use the product. That is huge. Use the product. And then really the last thing I kind of want to talk about is just working full circle to build relationships with customers. So I always ask to share about the business with pretty much everyone. Okay. Of course, my goal from this is to add new team members and help women, see how this opportunity could fulfill a need in their life, but it also allows people to learn more about our company and what they support as a customer if they decide the business isn't for them. So the customer relationship is really made stronger by doing this, and they get excited to help me reach whatever goal I'm working for, right? So that's just huge because I think sometimes we get scared to ask or whatever, but share about the business because it's not, even if it's not for them, which is fine. It's not for everybody. We need customers too, right? They will then learn about what our company does. People are very particular about who they're shopping with, right? They want to shop with companies who are doing good things, and our company is the best and does great things in so many different areas. So they need to know that. So they know what they're supporting and that they know that they're supporting you, a small business owner who's supporting your family, or using that money towards whatever you're using it for, and they'll want to help you more. And they'll be, more likely to stick around forever. So those are pretty much my main tips that I could think of. So hopefully that's helpful. I hope you guys got something that maybe you can put into place, but yes.
Oh my gosh. Tiffany and I were texting. We're like, we're going to have to listen to this over and over again because there's just so many things. I mean, obviously I knew you were brilliant. I did know that, but I didn't know to the extent there's all of these itty bitty tiny little things that it makes so much sense that you are where you are in your business with sales. It just makes sense because you're doing all these tiny, I mean, I have so many pages of notes. So you guys if you guys have a question, type the question right now in the chat or put your hand up if you know how to put your hand up. I mean, just the birthday month thing alone, I have the email sent out, right, from Shani automatically, but I definitely don't do all the follow-up communication stuff. The year-long customer appreciation program, I always have just been doing a Black Friday sale. I think this is a lot better because I do feel like I have some customers that they stock up like crazy then. And then I have other customers where I'm like, oh my gosh, you're that person that buys $200 a month from me, but you don't get anything more special than this person that, stocks up like a crazy person once a year. And I've always felt a little like, oh, about that. So I will 100% be switching over to that. I'm really excited to make my postcard and have something to write on the postcard. Thank you that you do free shipping because I still do free shipping. And it's just that place where I'm like, I feel like that's the thing that makes me different than everybody else is that I do give them free shipping, and of course I have this customer, Judy, where freaking Judy orders like one product every week, lives 30 minutes away, but I'm like, oh, Judy, she loves getting it in the mail. So I think she just likes getting a note from me every week. I don't know what that's about. Mailing a thank you card to your new customers, whether they buy or not. I mean, I wasn't mailing it to anybody, let alone whether they buy or not. So, yeah, so that's really, really super cool. Let's see what else. There's so many things. Okay. I get it. Casey's like shaking her head at me. The Monica half off thing. Thank you for what you do though, covering up the emojis, because that was one of the things going, well, maybe I just want to create my own because there's so many things on there. I feel like it was easy to hit the thing. So the fact that you just cover that off, the free gift was $40 using section 1. I think people like really getting gifts in their thing. So I think that's cool. Thank you for talking about the discipline and consistency. Okay. So this is, okay. So your birthday cards that you send out, do you just make those or do you get them from like,
I do a pink printing postcard birthday.
okay. Pink printing is where you get the birthday card. My mom wondered a lot of this customer work, are you doing it or is your assistant doing
it? Both, you know, like once COVID happened, I didn't like have an assistant for a while, so I was doing it, but it's like mix.
Yeah. Kind of like whatever works in the time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see, thank you card. You have one made. Oh, then I had a place I was writing questions and I started writing like, you need to do this to myself. Okay. So your customer card to explain the loyalty program. Can you text me a picture of that?
Yes.
Okay. So that's like, you're sending, this is how my loyalty program works to people that haven't bought yet. Right. But you fake
it. So in that first thank you, it's going whether they purchased or didn't purchase, it has that in there. So it shows them how it works. And that's like, if they didn't buy, I tell them, I always have them make a wish list right at the appointment. So they wrote something down on there, even if it's one thing. So I tell them, I have your wish list on file. When you do your first purchase, like saying that I know you're going to purchase for me, when you place your first order, you'll earn holiday bucks, which is explained here.
Because you're like, everybody buys with me. So I know you may not have bought with me today, but obviously you're going to buy with me because everybody buys with me. Probably an affirmation that you had, along with I sell $500 sets like crazy to everybody. Okay. Wow. And so then the thank you cards, what system do you have? I feel like there's a system. Like, do you do that every day or is it like a day a week that you do that and send them out, or you kind of just do it as you can?
It just depends. Yeah, that was something that my assistant was doing for me. But right now I'm kind of doing that on my, like I have literally what I write in every single thank you card, whether you purchased or didn't purchase, it's already prepped. So my assistant, when she was doing it, she just had that and she would write the same thing in every card with their name, of course. But I'm doing those currently right now. So I kind of do them when I have time, or I try to do it as quickly, like after the appointment, so they get it right away. But
yeah. Okay. Okay. How many times do you reach out to your bookings? Because obviously a lot, more than 5, 6.
Yeah. I mean, so I usually, I don't know what training that was, the 21 where I do like
21 day
call, text, like
I was going to 4
as like twice. Yeah, I would say so. They're at least getting 3 texts. And then I'm also trying to like call in there too. So yeah,
there's about like 4 reach outs.
Yeah.
I feel like 4 is adequate. 1 is like, hey girl, what's up? The second one, she's like, oh dang, forgot about that. The third one, she's like, I've got to get back. And then the fourth one, she's like, oh my gosh, I suck. I'm responding.
Yeah. And usually on the last text reach out I send, I usually say like, you know, obviously you're probably really busy right now. So I'll follow up with you in a couple months. Like it tells them I'm going to follow up. Like this is the last time I'm reaching out, but I'm going to follow up in a few months because you're probably too busy. And then that's when a lot of times we'll get a ton of responses to that. Cause then they're like, oh my gosh, shoot. Yeah, I forgot. Like, or yes, like I'm like next month would be great. Can you reach out then? You know, so a lot of times you'll hear some type of response at that point.
So good. So good. Okay. Do you have a weekly goal for faces, parties, sales? Like what is your weekly or monthly goal for faces, parties, sales? Or do you have one?
Yeah. I would say like 30 faces is pretty normal for like my monthly goal. Right now I'm like $1,000 a week is my.
You're doing 30 very intentional faces.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not trying to like, I'm like trying to do 100 faces. No, I'm just trying to do 30 really, really good faces.
Yeah. I mean,
and are they a mix, in person and virtual?
Yep.
Whatever works.
Yeah. Based on the person and what, if they're out of town, obviously virtual. If they're in town and they want to do in person, I do in person.
And $1,000 weeks. Yeah. Okay. Tiffany says, if you can't reach your booking goal in a day, do you challenge yourself to double it, or is it non-negotiable no matter what you hit it? Gotta get it.
Yeah. I mean, should be non-negotiable. I gotta hit it, but of course we're not all perfect and that doesn't always happen for me too either. So I will try to be like, okay, well, based on my daily goal, what's my weekly goal? Like I want to make it happen however I can. So if I need to do more the next day or
or if you know you're going to be out tomorrow,
right?
Today.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Referrals thing was incredible. I used to do payment plans. And I think when we got to COVID, I wasn't using the sheet that said payment plans anymore. And I'm like, forgot to put payment plans on my sheet. And because lately I've been going, what? Like, what did I do that I'm not selling that biggest set anymore? Because I haven't been selling it as much. I used to just sell it to everybody. Like everybody would buy the queen bag. Everybody.
Yeah.
Like everybody hasn't been buying the queen bag. And I'm like, it was the payment plan thing. Like, even if they don't use the payment plan, the knowing that they can use a payment plan
Right.
is so big.
Yeah.
And y'all, I love Klarna because now I'm like, I'm going to put payment plans available at the bottom. And you can make a payment plan with me, but you can also make a payment plan with Klarna. I don't care. And we can walk them through that real quick, like, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if they can make a payment plan with Klarna, you need to figure out how to use Klarna. Yeah. And then that whole working full circle following up thing. I had a several hour conversation with my friend Allison Piro today about the fact that I've come to that point in my life where I just got to master that because it just keeps holding me back. So, okay, you guys, anybody else have any other questions? Some of our bestest director girlfriends are on here. Do you guys want to just be like, if anybody wants to ask a question, rave, anything, just, go away. Heather.
Hey, so I want to share this. Marcie, that was awesome. You reminded me of all the things I used to do and sometimes still do and need to pick back up. So it's good. I do want to reiterate that it never, ever, ever goes out of style to write a handwritten note to your customers. And that is something I've never let go of. And those thank you notes go in those bags when they get their order. They get a birthday card. They get notes from me all the time, not just twice a year, but more than enough. I mean, just think about people do when you check your mail. How often do you get a handwritten note from somebody? Hardly ever. So it's one of the things that I really make sure has stayed at the top of my list for that customer service. It makes a huge difference. So kudos that you're doing that and keep it up. Don't ever stop doing it. It's one of the things that matters. But Chelsea, this, I have those stats for the follow-ups on the how many times do you follow up and what the sales statistics are. So 48% of sales, 48% of people never follow up after the first call. 25% of salespeople only make 2 calls. So 12% make 3, and 10% of the people make 3 or more contacts. So I think, first of all, you have to decide if you're going to be in the 10% that has success and doesn't give up after the first 3 calls, right? But here's the deal. Only 2% of your sales are going to come from that first contact. And as it grows, 80% of your sales will come from the 5th or more contact. 80%. So you can't give up after the first or second or third or fourth try. And especially nowadays, because we email them, we text them, and how many times do you respond right away? Or you get a message and you don't know that you're supposed to respond. We got to know that people are busy and we're not bugging them. We have a gift to offer them, and it is a gift for them to try Mary Kay. They cannot try this product unless they get invited or solicited or referred, because we have a gift. And they don't get to try it unless they sit in front of us. So keep asking. That's what I say about that. Just keep asking. But it was awesome. So those stats are real.
We were all shouting out how we all like to put God thought cards in our orders. And you guys, Heather talking, her son, Zachariah, is the painter of the God thought cards. Yes. Which one of my friends, so I live in Arizona, people say with me all the time. And I have this habit every morning. I'm sitting there and I have containers everywhere in my house. Let's be real. But one of them sits at my morning quiet time. And every single morning I flip it out and I grab one and I read it. And I'm, of course, y'all, this one's so good. And they're so good every morning. This one says, failure is not in the fall. Failure is when I allow the fall to become my identity. making mistakes and regretting some mistakes is just a part of life's process. Process comes before progress. Look at how beautiful this is. Looks like an Arizona sunset. I've told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. Look at that one. I love it.
So I have a quick
that
question.
Is something I add to all of my reorders and in the thank you card that I mail. I put a got that card in.
Okay, Marcie, I have a quick question. So you said when you're getting referrals at your party, you just let them write till they're done. Be a little bit more specific, because I usually play a song, and so how long is until they're done? Is that 3 minutes, 5 minutes? What are you giving them to do that?
It really just depends on the person. And if it's a bigger group setting, it might be different, but especially if I'm one-on-one or virtual. So weird thing, when we went virtual, for some reason, I got really scared. Referrals seemed hard for me when we went virtual. I was like, we're just staring each other at the screen. How do I do referrals and not feel like this is awkward? So I had to do a thing where I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to give you some time. I'm going to hop off camera because I got to let my dog out. I make up something that I'm usually not doing. And so I turn off my camera and I mute, but I still usually sit and watch. And then I just kind of wait until they're done writing. You'll kind of notice when they're done. Same thing in person, except it's not I don't say I'm letting my dog out, right? But I just kind of clean up, do something, and I literally just let them write until they aren't writing anymore, basically. Because I will give them time. I don't care. If they're going to write 20 names down to get a free mask, I'll give them 5 or more minutes if they need that. So yeah.
Awesome.
Not sure if that
That's
helps.
a really great question. That was a thing for me.
So I play a song. If you need something, I play Pharrell's Happy. I mean, it's a happy song. So you play a happy song and it's 3 minutes exactly. And I have found, I mean, I'm asking because I think that there's lots of ways to do it. Music seems to kind of take the awkwardness out of it. So you can also play a song over Zoom, and that has helped me a lot. So it's just a help. But I think for me, I was looking to find ways, because I've always cut them off. I make it a race. Who can get the list filled out, and how many can you put on there? But then I also, if Susie wants to give me 20 names and she just hasn't had time to get through her phone, I want to give her time. So I was just kind of seeing where you get with that.
And when I am for in person, I always have my Google Nest or whatever. I don't even know what it is. Siri, whoever it is I have that playing music throughout the time. It's a little bit lower, but then so in person there is some type of music, which is definitely helpful for any awkward silence.
I just love the I'm just gonna turn off my camera and go let Chloe out, and I'll BRB while y'all are running away. Because then at that point it's well, dang, she's letting her dog out anyways. I might as well write. And if they need to go to the restroom or something, I feel like that's a really good opportune time. So that was good. Okay, I needed that. Does anybody else have any questions they want to ask, or just wow, this blew my mind, shout out? Mom, did you get all your questions answered?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Y'all, that's my mom. She's my senior director, and she started Mary Kay
not that long ago.
Longer than I've been alive. We don't talk about it anymore. We used to say the years,
Okay, now that Chelsea brought that up, it was 38 years ago on the 22nd. Isn't that a long? That's years. Sounds like a lifetime ago.
Literally my lifetime.
I have a question.
Oh yeah, yes.
Would you please show off that beautiful ring you have on your hand?
Oh, I have 2 of the rings on that I've earned. Yes.
Yay. Yes.
Those are both quarter sales rings, guys. Look at those.
Yep.
Y'all, that one this year.
Chelsea's coming in hot for that one.
I'm getting it, man. I'm getting it. Jesus is coming. I'm doing quarter sales, and I'm getting that ring before he comes.
Go, Chelsea, go.
That's my personal. She personally recruited me, so she's very excited that I have now.
Just gonna say, you can't tell who recruited her.
let's just do a little bit of training. So she's my personal. So I get 13% of her sale. Hello. And she's happy when she's selling. And I also am her senior, so I get another 5%.
So she
There you
makes,
go.
or wait, 13 plus 5. She makes 18% commission
Yeah.
on every wholesale dollar I order, y'all.
Yeah, I think Tori's on here too. Go,
Yeah.
go.
Tori is also her personal team member and her offspring. So
I have
always
really super good, personal
attractively
reviews.
gorgeous, wonderful, amazing offspring. Tori's laughing.
I do have hot offsprings. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah. So
And there's the pride factor that you get to claim that too.
yeah. Yeah. So Tori's like, fire, fire, fire. Yes. So yeah, guys, I mean, I always tell my brothers, like, obviously I'm mom and dad's favorite because I'm their greatest retirement plan. My brothers will give my dad things like a new truck. I'm like, seriously, guys, you guys are jerks. Like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, oh, well, I just give them money. I'm their greatest retirement plan. So
Yes. Go, Chelsea, go.
step aside, you and your fancy trucks and skid loaders, whatever. Don't do none of that skid loader business. I just give them money. All right. Anybody else have any questions, shout outs, anything they want to say? Tori, did you have any questions? Any of you guys? Elle, Robbie, did you guys have any questions? You guys good?
Hi, it's Ellen. I went on video because my eyes started to water and I look like an Avon goth woman right now. So
Ellen. Hello, Ellen.
hey,
love you.
hey, hi. But this was
Guys,
really
hi,
cool.
girl.
Hi. I hate when people don't have their videos on, so that's why I don't have mine on, because like I said, you do not need to see this mess right now. But I completely agree about the stuff that we were doing and we stopped doing. So it's so great to see. It's so great to see how, you know, just all the reminders of how simple stuff is, Mary Kay. It's so incredibly simple. And why do we complicate it? So this was really good tonight. It was really, really good.
Do you have the bucks? How do you track that, the bucks for the holiday?
Great question. So I just use the My Customers app. So in the notes, it's in the notes section for each person. And this is something my assistant did and that I have to do every once in a while. But in the notes section, I create each year, whenever the new bucks start, whenever they start earning new bucks, I create a new note and it says like, so this year will be 2022, like HB holiday bucks. Like that's the name of the note. Because then I just like, they get written in. So with each order, it's like, okay, she earned $10 on 3/20 or whatever it was. And so they're just always listed there. And then when I'm figuring out the holiday bucks for the open house and like sending out the invites with their totals, I can search the notes for that title, 2022 HB, whatever I'm naming the holiday bucks. And then they all populate and I literally print that out. And it's just sheets of every person who has holiday bucks. And then it's just super easy. Like I total it up, obviously. And then that's what they get, that total on their invite. And then I have that, like, that is my holy grail for the open house when people come. And I like, as I book people, cause I'll book people for spots and then I like check people off as they use them and they come and yeah. So the notes.
So
I think I am severely underusing My Customers. I didn't even know that was a possibility.
Anybody else?
You can add more than one note.
Yeah, you can add as many notes as you want.
Okay, and then the other thing at the end of the year, so if you're like me and you don't keep track along the way very good, at the end of the year, there's a report section and you can click on reports and it will give you a tally of everything. If you've put all of your customer orders in your My Customers, you can get a complete total of what they've spent for the entire year. And then you just have to figure it once.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Very good about doing it along the way, but I can get a total at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
I used
total,
wise, so I was thinking that. Mhm.
Yeah.
so the bucks are only redeemable at your open house, right?
Yeah. So And I used to do only like in person, like they had to redeem them, but then obviously like virtual and COVID and people couldn't come and all of that. So I do now, obviously, if they're not local or in town, they're out of state, they don't have to come to the open house. But usually I'll do like a Zoom, like a 5-minute Zoom with people who couldn't come. I booked 5-minute slots or 10-minute slots because then I can actually show them like, you can use the bucks on anything, regular purchases, but at the open house is really where I have a table of like actual gift idea, like holiday, my gift sets for the year. So that's what I'll show on the Zoom with people who are virtual. Because then and then even if they don't buy gifts, they think about those and like later in the month or December, they then buy those gifts.
Smart.
Only redeemable at an appointment, right? Like it's like you have to book an appointment, whether it's 5 minutes or you show up at my house. You can't just get on my website and deduct your holiday.
Yeah, like it's not, you can't just go online and order. Like I will do some type of thing, even if, like you said, it's a 5-minute Zoom
at
or whatever.
your holiday appointment, even if that's a 5-minute Zoom, because it's kind of that one time a year then where you're getting in front of them physically and touching them.
Right.
It's like
so if they've been a customer and I'm not doing like a facial with them that year, I haven't seen them in person, they either come to the open house and they see and touch and feel, or we do it via Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a
Andy and I
question.
are talking about you behind your back right now about your skincare class and how I need to see it. What, Mom?
I have a question. So when do you do your open house? I'm meaning during the week. What days do you do that and what times?
I do it one day. It's a Saturday. And it's all day Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I love it. Marie, did you have a question? Marie McGowdy, did you have a question?
No, no, but I've appreciated all the time given tonight with all the good ideas.
Yeah.
I'm very new to Mary Kay, so.
Well, welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, I hope you realize like we all just like to help each other be wildly successful around here. It's what we do. We're a share all kind of crew. So, oh my gosh. Okay, guys, any last things? I know our minds are all reeling. I'm so glad that I remembered to record because I'm not like that is unlike me. I remember to record, it's saved into the cloud. I will get y'all a link and we will get that out because I mean, I'm putting it on my website. Like, I'm like, I want this on my website so my team can always go back. They can always watch it. So
Thanks.
we'll get you the link. If you don't get the link, chase me down on Facebook, message me, text me, ask me. If you got the Zoom link tonight, you also have my phone number. That was my phone number, the ID. So text me, get the Zoom link from me. Marcie, seriously, thank you so much. Like I knew that I knew weeks ago when I texted you that you were supposed to be the person that spoke for us this month. How exciting. You got to do it on International Women's Day. I mean, there are just, you're brilliant. I mean, I know you're brilliant, but like, this is how humble you are about your brilliance is so rare. And so I don't think people even remotely realize how strategic you are, right? I mean, right? James directors, did y'all know that? Like, it's like, you knew she was a smart girl, right? And she's beautiful, but like, what? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And funny. And sassy.
I mean, her friends, we kind of had a clue that she tolerates those three. Wow.
Yeah, you're kind of like become like those you hang around.
Yeah, right. You just got all that spice. So thank you again for just blowing our minds. Live people, let me know if you have any questions. If you're watching the replay of this, comment on there. She is in our group. So we can tag her in that and she can, when she has a second, she can go back and comment on the little replay. And again, you guys, I will get the YouTube out or whatever the world link I get from Zoom as soon as possible. Thanks, Ellen. Thanks for telling me I'm like stunning. Really self-conscious about losing all my hair. So I'm not, I appreciate it, Ellen. Thank you again. That was phenomenal. I'm sure we'll have more questions. So, and you guys, I will get those images from her and I will get them text out to all of you and post it in our group so that way you guys can all access them as well. So you guys unmute everybody, just say thank you, Marcie.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Marcie, it was awesome.
Thank you. Night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.